In war, we picture explosions and gunfire, but another enemy lurks, one that kills quietly: the cold. It seeps into bones, sapping strength and hope, striking soldiers and civilians alike. In ruined cities and frozen trenches, survival meant more than dodging bullets, it meant outsmarting the chill. With fuel gone and infrastructure shattered, people had to see opportunity in scraps: tin cans, cardboard, grease. These cast-offs became tools of survival, transformed by necessity and ingenuity. Yet warmth was dangerous. A fire's glow or smoke could reveal your position, inviting disaster. The paradox: the heat you needed could get you killed. So survival demanded small, hidden, efficient sources of warmth, just enough to keep frostbite at bay, heat a meal, or dry socks. The challenge: create a fire that was almost invisible, a flame that gave life without attracting death. Out of this necessity, a remarkable invention emerged: simple, ingenious, and vital. The battle against cold was as real as any fought with guns. In the end, it was resourcefulness, not firepower, that kept many alive. The story of this invention begins in the darkest, coldest hours of war. Humans are natural problem solvers, and war tests this to the limit. When supplies vanish, survival means reimagining the ordinary. A discarded tin becomes a heater, cardboard, precious fuel. This mindset, seeing potential in the mundane, was a lifeline. Makeshift heaters like the trench candle weren't issued, they were invented, shared, and refined by those who needed them most. Knowledge spread quietly, from soldier to soldier, neighbor to neighbor. Every item was scrutinized for value. Blankets, insulated boots, glass became tools. Nothing was wasted. Waste was a luxury no one could afford. This philosophy, using every resource, separated survivors from victims. The trench candle was a perfect example, a grassroots solution born of necessity. It was more than a tool. It was proof that ingenuity thrives even in despair. In war, the mind is the ultimate survival tool. Resourcefulness was the true weapon against the cold. From this ingenuity came the trench candle, or buddy burner, a simple, brilliant device. Made from a tin, rolled cardboard, and any available grease or wax, it was the answer to the need for hidden heat. Its low, hot, nearly smokeless flame warmed hands, heated food, and stayed discreet. Soldiers crafted them in trenches, civilians relied on them in bomb shelters. A single candle could burn for hours, offering comfort and a sense of control. In the blackout of the Blitz, families huddled around its glow, sharing warmth and hope. The candle's light was more than physical. It was emotional, a symbol of resilience. It brought a moment of peace amid chaos. The trench candle was a small victory against the elements and fear. In darkness, it was a beacon of survival. The trench candle's genius lay in its simplicity. Tightly rolled cardboard in a tin created air channels, drawing melted wax or grease upward like a wick. The cardboard burned slowly, extending the candle's life and heat. The tin contained the fuel and radiated warmth, making it safe and portable. Any waxy or fatty substance worked: paraffin, animal fat, even bacon grease. This adaptability made the candle sustainable in desperate times. The design allowed for control: cover the tin to snuff the flame instantly and silently. The candle could be reused, refueled, and hidden as needed. Its efficiency and safety set it apart from open fires. The trench candle was survival technology at its best: simple, flexible, and effective. It turned scraps into life-saving heat. Invention met necessity, and the result was quietly revolutionary. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the most powerful. The trench candle's warmth was often shared, forging bonds in the cold. Soldiers gathered around its glow, finding comfort and camaraderie. In shelters, families and neighbours pooled resources, sharing heat and hope. The candle became a focal point, a miniature hearth in a world of chaos. Sharing warmth lifted spirits and reminded people they weren't alone. Acts as simple as brewing tea or warming milk became defiant gestures of care. Mutual support was essential. Hoarding helped no one. By sharing ingenuity and supplies, communities grew stronger. The candle's glow was a symbol of resilience and compassion. In the darkest times, it was shared warmth that kept people going. The trench candle was a lifeline, but also a risk. In cramped shelters and trenches, a careless flame could mean disaster. Strict, unwritten rules governed its use. Always on stable ground, never unattended, away from flammables. Someone always watched the flame, guarding against catastrophe. Ventilation was vital. Too little air, and the candle could become deadly. Users learned to balance warmth with safety, letting in just enough fresh air. Discipline and vigilance were as important as the candle itself. The people who relied on these heaters respected their power. Survival meant thinking ahead, anticipating danger, and staying in control. Safety was as much a part of survival as warmth. The trench candle's story is a lesson in resilience and ingenuity. In crisis, simple solutions often work best. Its principles, resourcefulness, efficiency, safety, are timeless. Modern life relies on complex systems, but history teaches us to prepare for their failure. Knowing how to create heat from scraps is a vital skill. The candle's portability and adaptability are models for emergency planning. It reminds us to see potential in everyday items, to waste nothing. The past is a library of survival knowledge, paid for in hardship. With ingenuity and determination, we can find warmth in any darkness. The trench candle is a symbol. Even in the coldest times, the human spirit endures.